Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Hey, I'm here. I know it's been a little bit of a minute, you know, but I'm here. It's been a little bit of a minute. I ain't been around in a little bit, couple weeks here. I apologize. Uh, It has definitely been an interesting time. I had a couple of family things happen that I needed to deal with. Had some courses I needed to finish up. So I had to take a little, me time. Me time. What's up, Empower Me? How you doing? Yo, what's good? So I want to spend some time today. I want to spend some time with the good people. I'm feeling real good, and got through some things. STEF Black Gen X, what's up? Listen, I want to spend some time. I want to talk to the people today. You know what I mean? Because, it's been a little minute, and I just want to share something that I think that y'all need to hear, that I think is really, really important because, even when I'm busy, even when I got family things going on, I'm still paying attention. You know what I mean? I'm still seeing things, Contis, what's up? I'm still seeing things. So, when I see things, when I hear things, when I consider things, I feel like I need to come on and say something. So I'm about to say something. Here's the thing, right? I want to talk about the difference between a mentor and a hustler. I think that we need to have that discussion in this community because the fact of the matter is, it is evident by a lot of what I'm seeing. Oh, fuck all your feelings. LA in the house was good, baby. Hey, listen, check this out though. Let me get into this real quick. Let me hit this real quick, right? I feel like in our community, we don't understand the difference between a mentor and a hustler. And I feel like this is something that I need to touch on and discuss because I need some clarity to be had so that way people can be able to properly identify the difference between a mentor and a hustler. So let's talk about the hustler first, right? Because I want to talk about the hustler first. Because the hustler is an interesting kind of individual, right? So the hustler looks and feels like a mentor, right? But they're really not. And you can know a hustler really, really easily. That's the funny thing about it. Hustlers, if you know what to look for, if you know to ask the right questions, you can find a hustler real quick, right? So hustlers disguise themselves as mentors. What do I mean when they say that they disguise themselves as mentors, right? So this is what they do, right? They come on, they throw out a couple keywords, that sound real smart. You know what I mean? They string a bunch of terms together that sound real good, right? And in the end, right, it sounds good because they know, see, before we get into that, let me back into this, right? So here's the bigger problem, right? I want to talk about the bigger problem, right? So let's get into the bigger problem, and then I'm going to show you what a hustler is. And then I'm going to show you kind of how they get in, right? How these hustlers move, right? I'm going to get a game away today. So check this out, right? So here's what happens. So a hustler, first of all, a hustler usually is one of our own. That'd be the worst part, right? They look like you and me. They got the same skin color. They come from the same environments that we come from. They come from the hood. They come from the struggle. You know what I mean? And they want to identify with that struggle in us, right? To be able to get something from us, right? So this is how they start, right? So this is how it goes, right? So this is how they play the game, right? So here's what a hustler understands that that we all need to understand and kind of be honest about and identify, right? So here's the thing, right? A hustler understands that financial literacy, right? Financial literacy hustlers, people that purport themselves to be, financial experts or real estate experts or cryptocurrency experts or Forex experts, all these, fly credit repair experts, all these fly-by-night experts that have just come out of nowhere. I'm telling you, COVID has brought out more quote-unquote experts and mentors than I've ever seen. Like, I mean, this thing is crazy, right? So I'm seeing so much of it. I mean, it's popping up daily at this point. There's a new person every day. So let me go ahead and jump on in this and deal with this, so we can go ahead and cut the bullshit, right? We're gonna cut the bullshit today. So here's the thing, right? So here's what the hustler understands, right? Here's what these fly-by-night Johnny-come-latelys understand, right? This is what they understand. So first of all, you know, these guys that get into, you know, this financial teaching thing, right? So they understand a couple of things about the African-American community. And in order to really understand it, you gotta be honest, right? So we gotta be honest with ourselves, right? So the reality of the situation is, you know, financial literacy knowledge in the African American community is lower than any other demographic in the United States. That's a fact, right? So we have to accept that first, right? So we have to be honest enough about that first, right? So we got to start there. Now, because financial literacy levels are so low, right? They understand that, you know, the credit scores, you know, FICO scores in the African American community, right, tend to be the lowest in the United States amongst all demographics, right? So this is what the hustler understands. They understand that the African American community don't know a lot about finance. They know almost nothing, and they know they got bad credit, right? So here come the hustle, right? Now, beyond that, right, they understand that in the African American community, you know, we have the lowest savings to income ratios out of any other demographic. So here we go. It's the perfect storm. It's the perfect storm, right? So you have a community that has limited knowledge on finances in general, right? That lacks even some of the most basic financial literacy tools, right? You have a group that has overall average to poor credit, right? And which more tend to lean on the poor side. And you have a community that doesn't have a lot of savings, right? They don't have a lot of savings. They have low savings to income ratios. The average African American, to be honest with you, has less than $10 in savings in a bank account. Most people in the African American community live paycheck to paycheck. That's the truth, right? Now, so these are the realities, right? So these are the baseline facts, right? Now, conversely, on the other side of that, right, you have African Americans want what everybody wants, right? We want a piece of this American dream, right? We want to be able to live well. We want to be able to afford to send our kids to college. We want to be able to live a comfortable life. We want to be able to have passive income streams. We want to be able to have all the things that, you know, we believe that we should have and that we should be entitled to, right? We want our children to go further than we get. We want to have good quality medical insurance. We want to be able to vacation and travel and live life and experience life, right? So the hustler understands this, right? The hustler understands the lack of information, lack of credit, lack of savings, but he also understands the desire to have those things, the desire to have a lifestyle, the desire to want to live comfortably, right? So he understands these things, right? So enter the hustler, right? So what does the hustler do, right? So now let's talk about how we identify the hustler, right? So the first thing you need to do is understand pedigree. And what is pedigree, right? So let's talk about pedigree. So pedigree, right, is one's education, demonstrable education, right, on a topic, right? Demonstrable education. So, for example, I just saw Ambitious Girl 510 walk in, right? What up, Ambitious Girl? How you doing today? Right now. So check this out, right? Ambitious Girl is a CPA, right? I'm going to use her as a good example. I'm glad she's here. I'm going to use her as a good example, right? Ambitious Girl is a CPA, right? So the first thing I'm going to do if I want to talk to somebody about accounting, right? I'm not going to talk to, you know, Joe Smo Lunch Bucket who swears up and down about accounting. I'm going to talk to somebody who has the pedigree. What does that mean, the pedigree? That means that if I want to talk about accounting, they better have an accounting degree. or some accounting credentials and certifications, they better have that. I prefer, if I'm talking business, to talk to a CPA. So they better have that. And I'm going to go check to make sure that stuff is valid. And that is, you know what I mean, it's official tissue. So you got to have them credentials. You know what I mean? So if you don't even have the credentials, the pedigree, right? That's already a red flag. Especially now. Because you may not have a college degree. Hell, I don't have a college degree. But anybody can go to my LinkedIn right now. It's in my link tree. I have credentials. I have a pedigree. See what I'm saying? I have a pedigree. So that's the thing about pedigree, right? So we're going to start with pedigree, right? If you talking to me about finance, you better have some type of financial pedigree behind you to stand on. Because I'm not taking financial information from somebody, you know, who just woke up one day and read a book or two. No, baby. No, we can't do that. No. So the first step is pedigree, right? And one thing you'll know about the hustler, right? Oftentimes the hustler lacks pedigree. They may have a degree, but it certainly won't be in finance. It certainly won't be in economics. I know a very, a decently well-known hustler right now who graduated from a bottom tier college, right? And has got a degree that is the equivalent of underwater basket weaving. Yet, he's purporting to be this expert in the financial space. I'm confused. I'm terribly confused, right? Because nothing in your background confirms any of that. But let's leave pedigree, right? So pedigree is number one, right? Number two is experience. What is your experience in the thing that you are trying to tell me? What experience do you have? What money have you made? And I'm not talking about, you've done it for a little while and you make money here and there. No. Do you have a consistent cash flow mechanism doing what it is that you expect to teach me? Are you making money month over month employing the strategy that you are trying to teach me? Because if the answer to that question is no, right? Well, we got a problem. And see, that's the thing. If somebody wants me to spend my money with them, then I get the right to ask questions, right? So check this out. If you're a Forex trader, right? And you purport that all this money can be made in Forex trading and that you're making money all the time, I should be able to see a trading statement to confirm this. Show me your trade track record. Your track record of trades. The whole thing. If you're unwilling to produce that for me, then I'm unwilling to spend the money with you. Because the fact of the matter is, your track record, I'm concerned about your track record. If you're purporting to be some stock investor, it's the same thing. Show me your trade reports. If you are purporting to be some sort of cryptocurrency expert, I need you to show me your track record. Show me your track record of performance, right? If you are supposed to be some real estate expert, show me some consistent HUD-1s executing the strategy that you're trying to get me to buy from you to show me that it is that you can make and that you are making consistent money month over month over month. Because if you are not, I don't have the time. I don't have the money to burn. In the African American community, the average person does not have the disposable income to throw money away on bullshit. That's straight up. But you got to do your due diligence, though. You got to ask these questions. You got to ask the right questions. You know what I mean? You got to ask them, right? The hustler, right, generally tends to either one, they likely don't have the pedigree. A lot of them simply don't have the pedigree. But number two, a lot of them will come up with some interesting story about why they can't show you proof of concept or a track record to show that what they're doing, what they want you to do, is something that can be done on a consistent basis and that grows and scales over time as you do it, right? They can't do it. And a lot of times they don't want to do it because then they would be exposed as the liars that they are, right? So that's that, right? Now, let's take it a little deeper now. We're going to go a little deeper now, right? So check this out, right? So it gets really interesting when you really consider these things, right? So then we move on down the road a little bit here. We move on down the road, right? And we realize a couple of things, right? So now, right, the hustler always likes to play on your emotions, right? That's what they want to do. They want to play on your emotions, right? Because again, they either lack the pedigree, lack the track record, or both, right? So how is it that I'm going to be able to get you to spend your money with me, right? If I lack track record and I lack pedigree, or both, right? How do I get you to spend your money with me, right? Here comes the emotional play. Oh, you know, it's about the community. We got to uplift the community, right? Which is true, but you're not qualified to be able to be teaching in this area to be able to help and benefit in uplifting the community because you lack sufficient command of subject matter and experience. So therefore, you know, while that statement is true, everything else about you is not. So we're just going to leave that, right? So we got to separate the emotion from the fact and logic, right? Because at the end of the day, right? You see, at the end of the day, facts have no feelings. Only people do. And the worst thing you can be when it comes to your money is emotional. It's the worst thing you can be because that's how you lose money. You never make financial decisions emotionally. You make financial decisions based on facts and logic and data. You have to be what I call a data-driven decision maker who is solutions-oriented. That's what you have to be, right? So here comes the hustler, right? The hustler, right? Here he comes. We got to uplift the community. You know, we doing it together. Let's get this money. You know, you got to live that lifestyle. You know, if you want to have nice things, you got to do this and do that. They almost like pastors. They almost like preachers. Like, they on there, if you come and spend your money with me, I'm going to make sure that you're financial free. And you're going to be able to live that life. And you're going to be able to get this money. Let's go get to the bag. Let's work together. Let's uplift the community. Bruh, you might as well become an ordained minister, bruh. Because a lot of what you pumping is foolery. And that's real. A lot of words, right? A lot of phrases, right? And you know, a lot of words, a lot of phrases, but you know, at the end of the day, nothing going on. So check this shit out, right? So here's the interesting thing, right? Now, when you run into this, like, what this be, right, is this. You know, the crazy thing is that when you walking down this road, right, and these people get to doing this kind of stuff right here, right, you gotta be concerned. When a person is playing emotional, you know, when a person is playing your emotions, you always got to be concerned, right? A lot of people say a lot of things, but a lot of things are not actually factual. People who do a lot of talking don't do a lot of walking. And here's the other thing. This is how they get you, right? Now, remember, I told you, lack of pedigree, lack of experience, lack of track record, right? But the other part of it, like, and here's the interesting thing where they get. Remember, I told you, conversely, they want to, on the other side, they know that, you know, while the black community has low financial literacy knowledge, you know, bad credit overall and low savings to income ratios, they know you want to live that lifestyle. So how do they get you to believe that what they want to sell you is going to put you in a position to be able to live that lifestyle? Here comes social media. Social media is a motherfucker. Here they come with what I like to call the Instagram life, right? Now they posting pictures in front of houses. Now they posting pictures in front of cars. Now they posting pictures walking in or out of the Louis Vuitton store. Things like this that give the perception that they're living the kind of life that you want to live, and that if you give them your money and buy the strategies that they're trying to give you, that somehow you will be able to live that life too. That's what they do now. Now here's the interesting thing about that, right? When you really get into it. What you'll find out is that most of that stuff that they posted is fraud. They likely don't own the house. They likely don't own the car, right? You know, all of that stuff is nonsense. They might have walked into the Louis Vuitton store, but they ain't buy nothing. They might have walked out of the Louis Vuitton store with a Louis Vuitton bag, but I mean, you can buy a wallet at Louis Vuitton for $500. Hell, if you was getting federal pandemic unemployment assistance, right, before they cut that off, I mean, you was getting $600 a week. So it was easy to go in and buy a $500 Louis Vuitton wallet there, right? People that didn't have jobs could do that. So what are you really showing at the end of the day? Let's be clear here, right? Let's look at this for what it really is, right? It's a lot of people walking around here pretending that they're something they're not, right? And that's dangerous. Now. So now, right, I'm going to give you some other game about the Instagram life that a lot of y'all don't know that's really possible, right? Do you know that you can rent a high-end car? You can rent it for hours. You can rent it by the hour. You can rent it by the day. I mean, video, like rappers do it all the time. Like, you know, people that make videos, like music videos and stuff like that, they do it all the time. Like they'll rent a car for a few hours, spend a few $100s, and, you know, they can sit in it. You know, if they put the insurance on it, they can drive it around a little bit. They can take pictures in it. They can do whatever they want. Yeah. That's happening every day. They doing that every day. Let's be very clear here. Let me tell you what else is crazy. You got to be careful because some of these people is taking pictures and videos of them getting on airplanes, right? And coming off airplanes and all of that. You know, you can rent an airplane to pull up on the tarmac for you for an hour, right? You can do that. That's doable. You know, when people showing private flights, like they getting ready to take a private jet, right? What you need to ask them is, where's the flight manifest? Let me see that flight manifest. Know what I mean? Let me see that. Cause that flight manifest, if they ain't filed a flight manifest with the FAA, baby, that plane ain't going nowhere. Bottom line, period. See what I'm saying? There's a lot of flawed people out here. It's a lot of flawed people doing a lot of flawed things, right? Because they understand that the African American community is blinded by the surface level of what they can see and doesn't know how to dig deep. So I'm going to give you the game so you know how to dig deep, right? And ask the right questions, right? See, that's why a lot of these people, you'll see them taking pictures in front of the airplane, on the airplane steps, walking off the airplane, but you won't see them take a picture of them eating the food on the airplane. Why is that? Because guess what? If you eat a meal on the airplane, last I checked, even on a private flight, they don't start serving the food until you actually get in the air. So it's difficult, right, to show a picture of you eating a meal on the airplane if you're not in the air. Oh, and by the way, just for the record, right, you can rent studio time where you can go into an actual movie production studio. And they have whole sets set up that look like airplanes. And it'll look like you in the air and everything. They do it all the time. Just depends on how much money you want to spend to put on the show. So don't let these Instagram lives fool you. Because a lot of these people purporting to live the way they living ain't living that way at all. And that's a fact. But they know if they project that image to you that you'll give them your hard-earned dollars. So what's the hustler's end objective? Eventually, people start buying their courses, right? They start showing up to their classes, spending thousands of dollars on subpar information, right? Now, mind you, the information that these people are receiving, they working really hard at it. They believing in the system. because they've seen a lifestyle that's been projected on Instagram that makes it appear as though that if they buy these courses, right, they're going to be able to make that money, right? So they're applying themselves, and it's just not working out for them the way that they thought it was going to work out for them. But yet, right, they see the person that, sold them the class living this great life. And people keep buying the classes, and more people buy the class. So guess what eventually happens? The people, right, the hustler, right, now the hustler is able to live the life, sort of, that he wanted to live, right? But he's not living that life based on the strategies that he's selling you. He's living that life because you're buying the strategies that he's selling you. He's living off your back, your money, and that's a fact. So yeah, he's living a great lifestyle. Sure. Off your money, but you out here toiling and beating, and every now and then you make a little money from the strategy. Sure, every now and again, right? Because, like every strategy, even a broke clock is right 2 times in a day. So, I mean, damn, like eventually you're going to make a little bit of money here and there, but it's going to be very sporadic and very inconsistent. And you're going to think it's something wrong with you. I'm putting in the time. I'm taking the courses. I spent my money. Why isn't it working? Is there something wrong with me? It's nothing wrong with you, except for you bought the wrong course. You bought from a person that didn't have the pedigree, track record, and experience. The hustler hustled you. That's all. That's the only difference. It's not you. Now that we've talked about the hustler, I want to talk about the mentor. What is a mentor? A mentor, right? A mentor has the pedigree, easily verifiable. You don't have to go far to look at it. Easily verifiable pedigree. They have certified education that you can verify for the things that they're trying to tell you about. They have the background. Moreover, they have the track record and experience that you can verify. Right? But more importantly, because they know the things that they teach you are right, they don't have to charge you an arm and a leg for it because they know that what they're teaching works. Right? And because they know that what they teach works, they know that because it works in their lives every single day. And because it works in their lives every single day, they don't need to charge you an arm and a leg. Because they're making their own money. They're self-sufficient. They're doing what they do to be a blessing. They understand that God blesses you to be a blessing, and the more you bless others, the more God is going to bless you. They don't run around going out of their way to create an Instagram life for you to see. They're not walking around trying to show you every flashy thing they have. They just show up, they provide the information, and they keep it moving because they have other things to do, because they're busy. Because while they want to help you, right, they're still out doing what they do every day that provides for them. A mentor reaches back and pulls you up. A hustler reaches back and steps on your back as he crawls to the top. That's the difference between a mentor and a hustler. See what I'm saying? And it is because I got tired of seeing so many of these motherfucking hustlers that I started doing hashtag for the free and hashtag get real woke. Because instead of just crying about it, I decided to demonstrate what it means, the difference between a mentor and a hustler. I decided to demonstrate that. You know what I mean? I decided to demonstrate it. What it really looks like when somebody with real pedigree and real experience comes on and just does what they do. You know what I mean? To really help the community. Because when you're really trying to help the community, you don't need nothing for it. You just do it. People that's really about helping people, they just reach back and help. They don't expect anything in return. They just reach back and help. That's what they do. How do you charge, a group of people who don't have much to begin with, especially in COVID? It's COVID right now. People are really, really struggling right now. How are you going to try to reach in these same people's pockets and take the last little bit they got? That's not a mentor. A mentor is trying to find ways to help people make more money without taking anything from them, because he wants to see them be able to make it, because he understands how hard it is right now. That's the difference between a mentor and a hustler. And a lot of these people is out here hustling. They're not trying to give, they're trying to take. They're giving the perception that they're giving, but really what they do is they giving with one hand, they're giving a little bit with one hand, and they're taking so much more with the other one. They're giving you a little bit so they can reach in your pockets and take that back plus some of yours. That's all they're doing. And it's got to stop. And I think the most heartbreaking thing about it, and I said it earlier in this video, is the fact that it be our own people. It be our own people doing it. Our own do this. They be the biggest hustlers. Taking from our own people. Make it make sense. But what they don't understand, and see, this is what the hustler doesn't understand. That karma is undefeated. 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 And one thing about karma, you gonna get yours. It's coming for you. You gonna answer. Everything in life starts with a choice. And there's a consequence, good or bad, based on that choice, right? And what a lot of these hustlers don't understand is the law judges the intent of a man's heart or a woman's heart. That's how this works. Allah is judging your intentions. You can say whatever you want to say, but Allah knows the intent of your heart. You can fool as many people as you want to fool, but you can't fool Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't do it. Ever. God is going to make you answer and hold you accountable for the things that you do. You answer for everything you do in this life. Facts. Facts. Take it from somebody who has done quite a bit of answering over the course of his life. You answer for everything you do. Karma's undefeated. Believe that. So I just wanted to come on, you know what I mean, spend a little time with y'all. You know what I mean? I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between a hustler, you know what I mean, and a mentor. Be careful out here. It's COVID. It's COVID out here, y'all. Be careful. It's bad economic times. And you know, things hit our community harder than they hit any other community. Be careful out here. Hold on to your money. Because it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. And it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I understand everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to have nice things. Everybody wants to live a great life, and that's cool. But let me tell you something that I learned, right? Nobody starts at the top, and there's no elevator to the top. You take the stairs to get to the top, and you're going to walk every single step. I'm going to let you know that right now. You're going to have to put in the time. You're going to have to put in the effort. You're going to have to make the sacrifices. You're going to have the dedication. You're going to have the follow through. You're going to cry a lot of nights. Your belly going to be hungry a lot of nights. This is reality. And guess what? If you're not careful while you're taking every single step up, and it's a huge building. It's a huge building. So this ain't no 2-story building. This is a big one. And you're going to walk every single step. And if you're not careful, right, on your way to walking up every single step, you might slip on a banana peel. I done slipped on quite a few. And when you slip on that banana peel, you're going to fall all the way. You're going to fall down some flights of stairs. You're going to slip and you're going to fall down some flights of stairs. And it's going to hurt. And you're going to have to get up, find the strength to get up, dust yourself off, put a few band-aids on your boo-boos, and walk every single step that you fail. Every single one. Back up to where you were. And then now you got to find the strength to keep walking up the steps until you get to the top. That is how this works. There is no shortcut to success. There is no shortcut to wealth. There is no shortcut to sustainability. There is no shortcut to predictable, consistent, scalable cash flow. There's no shortcut to any of that. It doesn't exist. I'm going to be the first one to tell you. I've been doing what I do now for 14 and a half years. I've had my setbacks. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've learned a lot of hard lessons. I've slipped on plenty of banana peels. And I can tell you that every time I thought there was a shortcut, it was actually a longer way around. I'm telling you. I have walked a lot of steps. I have not been able to skip one yet. Over a 14 and a half year, I have walked a lot of steps. And I have not been able to skip a step yet. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And after 14 and a half years, guess what? I'm still climbing steps. Because life is a journey. It's not a destination. And there are levels to success. And for every new level of success you want to have, there are more steps that need to be climbed. That is how it works. Ain't no shortcuts around here, baby. And I'm going to tell you something. And this is just touching on that hustler one more time. If a hustler tells you, these little financial gurus tell you they've been doing something 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, run. Because there's a book that you should read. It's called The Outlier by Malcolm Gladwell. It's called The Outlier by Malcolm Gladwell. If you have not read that book, you need to read it because they did a study. They figured out that in order to become a subject matter expert in anything you do in this life, to be able to execute as a surgical tool of precision, it takes 10,000 hours of concerted effort. They figured out that to get that 10,000 hours, it takes on average 10 years. 10 years. And I can tell you from experience, when I first started in this career, I was about a year in, 2 years in. I thought I knew everything, boy. I thought I was the smartest man in the world. I thought you couldn't tell me shit. I had made a couple of coins, had a little money in the bank, showed it what you drank. You know what I mean? I thought I was that dude. Guess what? I ended up failing my company. Yep. Went out of business. Because I didn't know enough. 5 years in, I thought I knew something. I ain't know nothing. 14 and a half years later, though, I can look back and laugh at how stupid I was. How immature I was. How young I was. You know what I mean? And I can tell you that when I hit that 10-year mark, it's a game changer. Now, see what happens is, once you go over that 10-year mark, something happens. You're no longer wondering if you're really that good. You're no longer questioning your competence. You reach a level of calm assuredness. You know that everything you set your hand to is going to succeed. You know there are going to be setbacks. You know that sometimes it's not going to happen as fast as you want it to happen. You know that you're going to have to plan and have contingency plans in place. You know that you're going to have to stress test everything. You know that you're going to have to vet everybody you come in contact with. But you also know that as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other because you have the experience, right? You have the track record and you have the pedigree, that maybe you may not get it in the time frame you want to get it, but you are going to get it. And there is no doubt in your mind about that because you've been doing it long enough to know what it is. Once you go over that 10-year mark, from experience, I can tell you, shit begins to crystallize. It's a game changer. You need 10 years. So these people that got less than 10 years of experience calling themselves, mentors or financial gurus or all of this, they need to go sit in a corner. Because you not, bruh, you not there yet. You ain't got there yet. It's new levels of learning that you don't even know you can access yet. Know what I mean? So, just be careful out here. Like, just don't take what people are saying at face value. Do your due diligence. It's important. Like, don't give up your money to nobody that ain't got the track record, the pedigree, the experience, the execution ability, and that has no problem proving it and has the ability to produce easily verifiable documentation. Cause one thing about it, you send me anything in the black and white. I trust, but I verify. When it come down to these here dollars, you trying to get these here dollars up out of me? Oh, I'm verifying everything you talking about. I need to know about everything. Cause you not finna get me. Oh no, we ain't finna do that. No, we ain't gonna start that. No. But again, see, when you go over 10 years, that's another thing that every dollar has to be spent to its highest and best use. Every dollar that goes out is an investment, and it's going to bring back something, or it needs to. Money like soldiers, they always go out to war. Their job is to collect hostages and come back with more. So that means I need to be strategic with the deployment of my capital. What that means is that I need to be smart about how I let my money go and where I let my money go. So I make sure it comes back. But it's the same thing with your time, right? So anytime you invest time into something, it's still an investment. It's time. It's the most important investment you ever make because it's the one investment that you can never get back is your time. So if you invest in your time, effort, and energy into subpar courses, right, you're wasting your time. There's a higher and better use of that time. And you're wasting the thing you can never get back. Every second that I spend talking to y'all right now is I'm a second older than I am and a second closer than I am to dead. That's reality. Be a good steward of your time. Be a good steward of your dollars. Vet everything. Ask all of the questions. Do your homework. Do your research. Do your due diligence. If somebody is trying to get money from you, you have the right to ask whatever questions you want to ask that gives you the comfort in giving them your money. And if they are unwilling to answer the questions or they get an attitude about the questions that you are asking them when they trying to get your money from you, that is not the person that you give your money to. I'm just keeping it real. That's how it works. Anyway, y'all, listen, I appreciate y'all spending time with me tonight. You know what I mean? Spend a little time. Let me talk to y'all a little bit. Me, like sometimes I get started. I think it's going to be real quick and I just get to going and going and going. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with y'all, impart a little knowledge and wisdom to y'all. At the end of the day, this is always hashtag for the free. We always hashtag get real woke around here. Listen, if you ever got any questions, comments, concerns, you thinking about doing something or giving money to somebody and you're not sure, listen, reach out to me. Like, I'm very responsive. I may not get back to you right away, but I'm always going to get back to the get back. You know what I mean? That's always going to be the case. All right? Sorry about that, y'all. So listen, check this out. All I need y'all to do is like, subscribe, share, follow, tell anybody that you think can benefit from the knowledge and information that I'm providing, because the knowledge and information I'm giving out, the more people that see it, the more people that can benefit. This is always going to be hashtag for the free. And also turn on your notifications so you know when I'm going live so you can catch it. All right, I'm going to save this video for those who didn't get a chance to see it so that way they can see it. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. And likely my plan is to restart classes again this Sunday. Depending on what my schedule is looking like, that's probably going to be what I'm going to do. Okay. So, but don't worry. We definitely going to get back to it because I ain't done. I got so much more to give out. Anyway, y'all, enjoy your night.